and asks me any questions, real and raw and live here. I'm going to talk about tonight how we can set ourselves up to win successfully. The inner game of success, I call it. A lot of people call this mindset. And really, what is mindset? Do you want to have a mindset in concrete? Something that you can never change? I don't. And I'm sure you don't either. So I talk about mind flexibility, that ability for us to morph and change our beliefs and our system with our internal system, our internal beliefs, as we grow and we develop ourselves. So as we grow and evolve with mind flexibility, so does our mind and our thoughts and our beliefs. So I want to talk about this winning the game of inner success and how you can set yourself up to win. I do have a workbook, and I'm sure if you want a copy of the workbook, drop a GIF or a comment below, and one of the team, we can send it to you afterwards. But meanwhile, if you've got your conscious cuppa, I have now my beautiful lemon, ginger and honey to drink, just to keep myself lubricated as I'm the one talking tonight. Just grab a piece of paper if you want to, and you can make some notes as we go through. The workbook itself is designed to give you 4 visual aids, and these visual aids will help you strengthen your inner game of success. And more on that as we work through. I'd love to know, type in the chat any questions or comments if you like. I love interaction as we're going through, because most people think life gets better if they have something or they get something. More happiness, more time, more freedom, more money, a better car, a bigger house, whatever it is. The truth is, getting more stuff is not the answer to a fulfilling life. Wow, do I know that? I still have bags of things that I've bought over the years that I haven't got through yet. I've done an awful lot of decluttering myself in this last 12, 18 months, and there's only 2 rooms left to do in my whole life, 2 rooms. I'm very proud of that achievement, and it's an ongoing journey. Some of the things I think, it's interesting to me, and I love that word interesting too, because I always say stop. Why do I find that interesting? What made me say that word? Because often it means that we're avoiding something, avoiding looking into something. So when I say the word interesting, I always make myself a mental note or a little note and say, come back and think about that a little bit more. Do some journaling around why I said that. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. I love that quote by Jim Rohn. It's one of my favorite go-tos, really, because a life well considered, it consists of moments upon moments where you experience what it is you value experiencing. Is that true for you? I'd love to know. Do you have the moments in your day, moments upon moments, where you experience what it is you value? Because sometimes we think we have things that we value, but we're not living those values, we're living other things. So for example, if you say you value building a business and generating wealth and becoming more in tune with who you are, developing and growing yourself, that might be something that you value. But if you're sitting every day watching Netflix or doing something else, you're not living your values. Does that make sense? You see, I think most people live 2 versions of themselves, or more than 2 actually, but we'll stick to 2 in this particular discussion we're having tonight. The surface version, that which we take out to the world, we think is as we should be, this is who people believe how I should behave, or how I should fit into society, perhaps what I should do, what I shouldn't do, what should I wear, what shouldn't I wear, Do I have to wear makeup when I go somewhere like this place? Or can I just be au naturel? You know, it depends. There's that surface self. And then there's the core self. The core self is the true self we are meant to be and we desire to be. And really, this inner strength, this journey to me, this becoming functionally selfish, is really all about coming back to our core self or selves, the true selves that we're meant to be and we desire to be. And that's one of my biggest purposes in life, is to guide you back to your core. This is where the magic happens, guys. It really is. So again, I don't have any questions thrown at me yet. So I'm just going to keep on explaining this inner game of success and really what the 4-dimensional base system is. Base, B-A-S-E. And we're going to walk through this thought process that once you complete, should you choose to join me and to go through and do this, really starts to align you to your true north. So you can start to live a life that both fulfills and attracts abundance in all things. It's a wonderful exercise to do. I do it myself probably every 3 or 4 months, just to check in with where I am. And things grow. Some things get booted out, other things get brought in, some get tweaked a little bit, because it's part of becoming functionally selfish. And it takes, you know, it's to take responsibility for you. Yes, you, for yourself. See, our environment is really the big picture. It's the overall purpose of what we're doing. You know, our big, hairy, and audacious why, if you like, our big goal, that sort of thing that we dare to dream, and then to have a plan to bring that dream into reality. Our environment can also hinder our success. And again, perhaps we'll talk about that later. Hey, Carissa. How lovely to see you here. Thanks for joining me. I'm just talking about winning the game of inner success, but this session is real and raw, open. So if you've got any questions for me, anything you'd like to know about me, my journey, anything like that, just throw them in. If not, I'll keep going about the this inner game of success. It's really exciting stuff. Because it's our vision, our passion, our values, our standards for ourselves and our expectations of both ourselves and others, our mind flex, if you like, that growth mindset and so much more that helps us stay on track. Because when we're clear on our purpose, when we know why we're doing something, you know, we can start to see how it fits into the bigger picture. Has anyone ever done an ideal day exercise before, or, you know, something like that? Or perhaps a vision board of, you know, if there was, you know, time, money, freedom, weren't any obstacles, what exactly would you be doing? Lovely to be again with you, like Carissa. It's been too long. Must catch up. You see, if you've done something like that, a vision board or an ideal day exercise, and an ideal day, I mean, for me, be realistic. It's not just lying on the beach all day. I think I would get very, very bored if I was to do that, to be honest. For me, my ideal day, yeah, Jai's on a vision board, fantastic. What was on your vision board, Jai? I'd love to know. Because you have it, see, with a vision board, something like that, you have a picture, don't you? You have something to work towards. If you do have something like this, please share in the chat box. I'd love to know what it was for you. Because I think at the heart of what we all want in reality is financial freedom. It's to live our ideal day, if you like, and an extraordinary life. And that ideal day for me is to get up every day and to choose how I spend my time. I'm blessed I can do that. Every day I can get up and decide, do I want to work today? Yes or no? Do I want to go in the garden? Do I want to, yesterday I just took a drive to go and look for some wildflowers. I had work to do, yes, but I chose a different way to spend my time. Because to remember, if you want to reach out for anything, I'm here. I'm here to talk. I'm here to listen. I'm here to help, to guide. And it's my honor in life to work with the clients that I work with and to witness their beautiful journey, if you like, a growth when they really do reclaim themselves and start to become functionally selfish, as I call it. Jai, big house, car, financial independence, total freedom, travel. Beautiful. Love it. Travel is one of my highest values. Freedom is one of my highest values. And I think it is for a lot of people, actually, when they really boil down to the top three of what they want. Carissa loves her vision board. It's the first thing she sees every day. Absolutely. It really keeps you on track. And I believe the exercise that we're going to go through tonight will actually help solidify that vision even more. Because I believe if we don't have this picture of what we desire, our passion, if you like, the passion, this is often where we get stuck. We get stuck in the task, in the doing. And although we might feel like we're doing lots of things, if it's with little or clear direction and lack of meaning, then this is often where we experience our old friend, guess who? Can you guess? Begins with P. Shout out in the chat box if you can think you know what it is. I'll just give you a couple of minutes to type. The comments just coming through, a bit of a delay. It's procrastination. Perhaps someone did say it, but if not, it's procrastination. Our old friend, procrastination. And he brings his cousin along, overwhelm. And yeah, the whole Netflix binging story perhaps starts. So this journey to inner success starts with one person having a dream and then heading in the direction of that dream, one step after the other, bringing the passion, our humor as we learn. And if we bring all of that and have a system and tools to do it, we become unstoppable. Truly we are. So let's get started. What is this inner game of success I keep talking about? We must first know ourselves, what we care about and what we're prepared to do and commit to so we can focus on the rest. Our internal world shapes and determines our outside world. It really does. It's those inner world needs that we need to really tap into. So it's up to us really to ensure we give ourselves our very best mind, our thoughts, the very best beliefs that we can for our journey ahead. So like I said before, you may wish to have a pen and paper handy, take some notes as you walk through the dimensions. If you'd like the workbook, there is a nice workbook that you can print and have these 4 dimensions, put up somewhere, laminated, wherever you can see them. I do recommend, once you've done this exercise, doing that for 2 or 3 months, reading them every day, morning and night, recording them, having them playing in your ear, just visually looking at them. It really does help to embed them truly in your mind. So we'll run through these 4 dimensions, the key components to BASE, B-A-S-E, a successful, flexible mind. So the BASE stands for, B is belief, A is attribute, S is standard, and E is expectation. So let's kick off with beliefs. While in fact there are 5 types of beliefs, and I'll leave that for an explanation for another day. Today we're going to focus on identity beliefs. So what is a belief? What do you think? Type it into the chat box now. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. For me, it's something that a person believes is true. It's a feeling we have that a certain thing is real or true, because everybody believes in something. And what we believe in affects the way that we live our life. And what we may believe to be true could be what we've been brought up to believe. So it can be the belief actually of our family beliefs that we believe are ours. And when we take care to dig into these things a little bit more, perhaps they aren't yours, they're your family's. What matters is, what are your beliefs? What do you truly believe? So what you'll create with this exercise will be belief statements of who you need to be to achieve your ideal day, your extraordinary life, the life of purpose with passion. So some examples of mine. That's right, Jai, belief is your truth. Yeah, love that. So some examples of things that I have in my dimensions are, I am enough. I'm whole and complete. I'm a learning machine. I'm fun and playfulness. I am love. There are a few of the ones that I have. I'd love to see you add an identity statement for yourself now in the chat box. If you're listening live, please type one in now. If you're not, hashtag replay. Still, I'd love you to share. What is a belief you have for yourself? I'm unstoppable. Love it, Jai. That's fantastic. It's a great belief, and you are. The next dimension. So the idea is when you get the workbook, if that's what you choose to have it, there's a sheet, there's a beliefs, and I say it's probably got a room for about 10 of them on there, and you can write them down and have them somewhere visible where you can read them every day. And the more that you read them and absorb them, become embedded into you to really live and breathe those beliefs. And these can be things that perhaps you don't believe quite yet, but you want to believe. So they're beliefs that you want to embody within yourself. And sometimes if you're stuck with how, what to write, what beliefs to come up with, what to think about someone who you admire, or who you'd like to be, like, or to achieve what they're achieving. And just think to yourself, or ask them, even if it's someone that you know, ask them what they believe in. How do they, achieve what they achieve? And then too, you can have one of those beliefs and start to instill it for yourself. We can have anything is possible. So the second dimension is attribute. What do you think an attribute is? Again, if you're listening live or hashtag replay, then type it into the chat box. What do you think an attribute is? For me, it's a quality or a feature, like a characteristic, if you like, or a part of someone or something. And I believe that these are internally focused, and that I bring them every day into my life to helps me set myself up for success. So, for example, some of my attributes are curious, compassionate, creative, passion. So, for example, I bring them into a statement. I feel it helps me. Some people just have the words, and that's completely fine. I prefer them in a sentence or a small statement. So, for example, one of my attributes is an insatiable curiosity to learn and grow. Another one is humble compassion for both myself and others. Creatively strives to find a way. There is always at least one. My attribute is digital savvy or creative genius. Love it. I love that, Jai. Fantastic. I'm sure there are many others. Humor and passion in all that you do, perhaps. I know you're very passionate at what you do, and very funny as well. So thanks for sharing, guys, your attributes and your beliefs so far. Now let's move into standards. So what are standards? Again, what do you think they are? Type into the chat box now. Our personal standards for me are nothing more than a set of behaviors. It's the behaviors are built really upon expectations you have of yourself in a variety of situations. And they are in some respects performance standards. They lay down the benchmark, if you like, of the performance for your life. How are you going to show up in the world? And I believe we should have some rules around our standards, because if not, they're often sloppy and we just don't bother. This is the case, it can lead to people walking all over us, if you like, and taking advantage of us. So we become, another way is like boundaryless as well. In my experience, these rules need to be consistent, but flexible, so that we can, on occasion, choose to relax our standards without feeling guilty or that we're letting ourselves down. So, for example, a big thing for me was around my eating. And, whilst I would tell myself, oh, I'm on a diet, I can't have this or I can't have that, this is all past behavior, then it was too rigid, too, stuck. And if I had something that I shouldn't, I would feel guilty, I would feel ashamed, I would beat myself up saying, see, you can't do it, you can never, diet, or all the rest of those things I would tell myself. And so that resulted in me giving up and jumping off the bandwagon. And I now have an 80-20 rule around it. 80% of the time I eat well, I have my juice, my smoothies, good nutrition. But if I want to have something, I will consciously choose to have that without the guilt and without the shame. And generally my choices are better because of that. So for example, some of my standards are, I serve from a place of love. I am compassionate and not afraid to embrace emotion. My hashtag 50 Shades of Grey that I love. I'm not afraid to embrace any emotion. I am truly compassionate. I provide value to the clients I serve. So these are a lot of my standards. I keep promises that I make to myself. I'm very careful these days what I do promise myself, because I don't want to let myself down anymore. I have so many broken promises in the past. I'm very, very careful the promises that I make. So I'd love you to share again one standard that you have or would like to cultivate, within you over this next couple of months. And feel free to share in the chat box. And whilst you're sharing that, we'll move on to the final dimension, the E, which is the expectation. So again, what is an expectation, do you think? Tap your answer into the chat box again, hashtag replay, wherever you are, just let me know. For me, our expectation of the standards we have for others, it's how we deal with people and how do we expect others to treat us. Some people have low expectation of others and some have high expectation. This is just the way that life and humans are. There's no right or wrong here. It's said that if we teach people how to treat us and that we get the treatment we deserve based on what we're willing to accept. And it's true. You'll attract higher quality people around you the higher your expectations are of those you hang out with, and work for. And I think a lot of this comes down to boundaries as well, letting people know clearly what it is that you want in a relationship, be that a love relationship, a work relationship, a friendship, the relationship with yourself. What are you prepared to accept? For me, some of my expectations are I strive to inspire others to achieve great things, and I'm grateful when others inspired me. So I am grateful when others inspire me, but it's not an expectation of mine. I have few expectations these days. Expectations for me over the years have led to a lot of disappointment and feelings of judgment against other people for not doing what I expected. So I've let go a lot of the expectations. Yes, it still crops up, seeing things I'm working on, as everyone works on things. Another one of mine is I accept all feedback as a gift and give it with love. I enjoy sharing others' success without jealousy or envy. I know my true worth and will not allow myself to be taken advantage of. I expect to work hard in life. It's not a free ride. So those are some of my expectations. And I'd love, again, for you to share one of your expectations in the chat box. So they're the four elements of the base system, if you like, to win the game of inner success. And I'd love to set a little challenge here if anyone's watching still with me, or hashtag replay, that I've aspired to request you all to join me on. And it's something that when I was reading through the workbooks and doing a session with a client the other week, I just thought about it. I have done this for myself for a while. Because knowing your big why is wonderful. Having the vision statement, these beliefs and attributes, standard expectations of what you're building towards, even having your detailed plans, your goals, your short-term goals, long-term goals, clear measurables to work your way through them, just to make sure that you are achieving them. But there's also wonderful power, I believe, in having a daily why. And I'd love you to introduce this concept to you all today. You may have heard of it. You may do it already. If you are, then that's fantastic. If not, then what I'd like to request is each day for the next week, I'd love you all to write your daily why in your journal or a notebook. That's your daily why. Your reason for staying committed to your journey within, your inner inspiration to follow through on your daily actions and continue to steer back on course if you lose your way. I forgot how much this helped me several years ago when I first started doing a lot of this work. Because an example for me is things I used to say was reconnect with me so I can be the best version of me I can be. Have energy to achieve my goals. Nurture a healthy lifestyle. They were all daily whys. Nurturing my healthy lifestyle just reminded me every day that week to eat well, to consciously choose what it was I put in my body, to have energy to achieve my goals. Again, that linked back to what I was putting in my body. It encouraged me to go for a walk, to play outside with the dogs, to do a little bit of gardening, to things that I enjoyed doing to find energy. So I'd love to see who's prepared to commit to doing their daily why in the journal for at least the next 7 days. I'd love to see a yes in the chat box, in the comments. Is anyone still with me? If not, #replay, tell me you'll commit. So in wrapping up, I'd just like to leave you with a couple of closing comments. I've named it Getting Lost. #Getting Lost. Because it's easy to start on a new venture. It's easy to start with good intentions, but it's harder to stay inspired after the initial excitement wears off. We all know this. We all know this, that we can jump, back off the bandwagon. You'll probably have a few dips and pumps and bumps and lumps and whatever else comes along, and even miss a few days here and there. So be prepared for some backsliding. Yep, backsliding, not backsliding. I told you I like to have fun. If you do, don't worry, it's okay. In fact, it's honestly to be expected. This is not about being perfect. It's not about being conscious. It is about, being conscious of your choices, the choices that you make, so that you can make better choices next time. So simply, all I'd like you to do is acknowledge the issue that comes up. Make a note of it in your workbook, in your journal, in a notebook, whatever it is, and ask yourself perhaps some of these questions. What was the trigger that knocked me off track? What happened? Why did I not do what I said I was going to do? Am I still inspired by my goals? And if not, why do I think that is? What fear is holding me back? Why am I procrastinating? What am I choosing to focus on instead? What addictions do I need to acknowledge and let go of? That's a big one. How can I be more present and live more consciously? How can I change my exercise routine and make it more fun? And I really encourage you to use your answers to empower yourself, to make adjustments where you can, and seek help and guidance you may need. I'm here to guide you on this journey. Remember, you can #ask me any day in this group. Ask a question. Ask anything that you need. That's my question too. Why am I procrastinating? That's a great question, Jai. There are many reasons for procrastination, And yes, I could go through them all. I'm not going to tonight because we'd already, I want to keep this quite short. Perhaps next time I'll talk about procrastination in a bit further detail. But I think asking yourself that question, and even before you go to bed at night, and just allow journaling the next morning, conscious, free writing, not thinking about, just write down whatever comes to mind. And there might be things in there in your writing that will give you hints as to why you are procrastinating. So if you have any questions about what we've covered tonight, please hashtag replay, drop them in here and tag me, and one of the team or myself will get back to you. If you'd like a copy of the workbook, again, hashtag workbook in here, and we'll look out for that request and contact you so we can send you the copy. And this is here, Guy. This is now a Facebook Live that will stay in this group. It will also go up on the YouTube channel as episode 6, I think it is, of season 1. So you can watch it again. And I'll put the link there to the workbook as well. So thank you so much for joining me. It's been a great hanging out with you, hanging out with Jai and Abby, Carissa. Lovely to see you all. And again, enjoy your evening. Dig deep. Have a look and really see what it is that you can do, what your beliefs are, what your attributes are, your standards, your expectations, and give yourself the gift of the inner game of success, connecting to you, really digging in, embodying all of these things, and doing this exercise, guys, every 3 months, every 6 months, these couple of times a year at the very minimum. Write these sheets out and have them visible for at least 4 weeks. Read them every day. Read them aloud, sing them aloud, record them, have them in your ears when you're going for a walk. Read them on a sheet while you're brushing your teeth. Whatever it is, we all learn differently. We all absorb information differently. Some of us a feeling, you know, so it's a feeling that we get with it. So make it all pretty visual. You know, we people like to look at things. Sometimes it's the audible or audio digital. We're hearing our own voice. So that's where recording ourselves and having it in our ears is a good way of learning as well. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Bye-bye from now. And next week we have a beautiful guest. Lovely Jamie Henderson is joining me talking about a beautiful topic. It's going to be a fantastic session next week. How to find purpose again, really, after the death of a loved one. It's going to be a beautiful session. I'll see you then. Remember, till next time, be your own best friend. Do whatever it takes, okay? Bye.